So day after Christmas.
Oh yeah, I took that one day off. God forbid I take one day.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, Justin, let's get the show rolling.
Good, let me bang.
Dus laatst met de show. Quoi?
Please rise to salute the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. The time, date, and location of this meeting was published in the Asbury Park Press and posted on the bulletin board in the office of the Township of Lakewood at least 48 hours in advance. The public has the right to attend this meeting, and minutes of this meeting will be available for public inspection. This meeting meets the criteria of the Open Public Meetings Act. We're going to start a reorganization meeting. We do have a few members who need to be sworn in, one of whom tonight is a new member. All of the members, just for your reference in your package, we have there the 2018 calendar, as well as the list of the current planning board members as recently appointed by the committee. And lastly, there is a packet stapled together that is an excerpt from from a guide to planning in New Jersey. It gives an overview for Mr. Herzl's request of some of the powers of the planning board, the types of applications that you may encounter, just to give you a brief introduction into what you may be expecting over the next couple of months.
Thank you very much, Ali.
New members will also be given the opportunity and have the requirement to take a training class. I'll email that out to the board members because anyone who wants a refresher is certainly welcome to sign up and attend as well. Mr. Jackson has a number of oaths of office. For Mr. Herzl's request, we're going to swear in our new members and reappointed members all at the same time.
No, Shane is not here. Mr. Sable.
Mr. Franklin was reappointed as well.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me.
I'm sorry, and Mr. Graffos, she's missing a paper, but Mr. Graffos as well.
Please repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey. And that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and to the governments established in the United States and in this state under the authority of the people. I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties of the office of a Lakewood Planning Board member to the end of my term, to the best of my ability. So help me God. Congratulations.
Moving on to election of officers for this calendar year. I believe we're open for a motion for a position of chairman.
I'll move Mr. Herzl to be chairman.
Second. Roll call. Mr. Franklin.
Yes.
Mr. Stable.
Yes.
Mr. Herzl.
Yes.
Mr. Renner.
Yes.
Mr. Flansbaum.
Yes.
Mr. Graffos.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for your confidence. I'm looking forward to another great year working together. Okay, now I would ask for a motion for vice chair.
I'll move a motion to nominate Ellen Renner as vice chair.
Okay, do we have a second? Second. Mr. Sable seconds. A roll call.
Mr. Franklin.
Yes.
Mr. Sable.
Yes.
Mr. Herzl.
Yes.
Mr. Renner.
Yes.
Mr. Flansbaum.
Yes.
Mr. Graff. Yes.
Okay. Well. Okay. Now I think at this time we're going to close session to go over the officers.
memorializing it, it's memorializing it. That's something. Nothing like that. No. Okay, but it's up to you anyways. No, it's good, no, it's fine.
As long as my radio doesn't beep, we're good. That means no one's hurt.
I hear Josh. Not necessarily. It's not a radar detector, you have to call you.
That's not when they beep, when they leave on a radio. Okay. We got two calls, so that's Jason, she's bringing on medicine. So for the third street.
Session, private session, closed session. Okay. Well, congratulations.
Testing 1, 2.
I sit in the back there, take a picture of me.
I can show you the difference. How they I hate when they do it. I hate it the first time, but I said, I'm not gonna go there. I'm so happy. But you just expect a little bit of return.
I think they wanted people to appreciate how nice it was.
But then they might have Any worse.
Yeah.
I don't think they have pictures.
Might they change the floor? Maybe on the side. No, they used to be free on the side. No, I don't think so though, because it lines up between the two doors. No, I think it's the same way the chairs can sit. They changed only the cover. I don't remember what it looked like.
So, it's funny. Yeah, okay, but
And I was here that night.
There is executive session in the back if you want to go join.
I don't know if you wanna go back there.
They need to vote to break ties,
Maybe go
so.
back there.
So that's what I'm supposed to say. I didn't want to make it. It's
They probably want to weigh in. John, stop on the.
I did do every 30 days, when you say 30 days, I never read
We have a lot of this, we have this. I just feel that's.
She was driving in the snow, it was an infection in the Yeah, you have a wild.
I play, my place, no, play the racquetball. Every morning, every afternoon, every night.
I get one time, I'm gonna do something.
I don't know what it's like in racquetball, but I saw in basketball.
Marty, did you read
lacrosse, he plays tackle.
Morty, did you, Morty, did you?
I enjoyed the football.
Did you read your kids?
I lost
What
my
happened?
kids. I lost my
He
kids.
told me he's going.
And I play against my kids in the football
He
league.
told me he's playing his kids.
I play flag football league. It's pretty intense. You get tackled too.
He can't play, he can't play against.
43?
He's not
Yeah.
But I play against my kids.
His kids are good enough for it.
Oh, yeah. You're not wearing anything.
Morty, your kids are good at it.
We used to
They
play
are,
tackle in the
they
middle.
are good.
Everybody put behind his
You
right.
think you're gonna play like
Now,
TV?
I came back after a bunch of shots, like bruised all over. You're like, what are you
My brother-in-law
thinking?
was laughing, he goes, who's that guy? Why do you think he can play against?
And in the middle of the game, the guy just on the team where it was a close game, like 7-6, it was football, 7-8 just there at the point. Another guy, the quarterback, screamed back, how would we was a 45-year-old beating us? Like 19, 20-year-old kid. Lo and behold, they scored the next drive, they beat us. That's all I used to say, a 45-year-old is beating us. I'm oldest guy to leave. Oh,
Why would you
man.
do that? Would you take up sewing or something?
I tell you, it's really good. And it only gets good, you come back, it's like, wow, I forgot about these parts of my body. You know, it's like, it's a little tough.
There's other sports you can do.
I play racquetball. I play baseball.
Maybe try tennis.
Tennis, that's hard.
I think you should try golf. Golf is the old man's sport.
Golf.
Right?
Elbows are hurting. Yeah. Racquetball.
Try to
You
play
should
golf.
really join. I'm telling you, see what goes on here every Tuesday. And now, when you go there Mondays and Wednesdays, there is 14 guys. Monday, it's opening at 14 courts. And you what's called, you pair up. It's like doubles.
You have horses?
You play for 2-3 hours. And it's doubles, you don't do one man hour, you know? Yeah, the team. I was pretty hard.
Yeah,
I'm like, I'm your hard team.
You're supposed to be.
Ours is on the court also?
But he changed his mind.
Oh, really? It's not
Yeah,
good.
good ball, he's getting-
Yeah, what time anyway? Play racquetball, literally
That's
24 hours a
That's
day.
the only thing I'm about
It's racquetball and yoga.
Where's this one?
Really?
Guy is a yoga master. He tells me it's all sport.
He was doing hot yoga.
It's all, no, it's all sport. All sport. Low back, core. He said it's awesome. You got 2 other guys that are joining him. One monkey.
Oh, yeah?
You try it for 2 months. Try it.
Far down these areas.
Ask them, they have like 2-3
It's so
months.
far away.
I made phone calls.
I own a shopping center.
18
It's
minutes.
better.
Nobody.
What do you mean? I call you the dough guy, and the pizza guy, where's the cheese?
Right across from where the building is doing.
It happens to be funny. Listen, in this lot of levels too, Frankie never really came consistently, twice, 3 times.
Oh my God, that whole speech is going out. It's like, oh,
That plays well.
So I told him, I said, look, so it says, you could pay iPhone, you could pay Goldstein, and you could go, and then Goldstein, I said, what he's good at? Like you're good. So he said, who said that?
He's not bad, he's not top tier.
Oh my
He
God.
considers himself good.
Of course, that's what it was. I told him,
Oh, man, that was not good.
he was the best.
Oh, man.
So,
He gets all serious about
so
it.
he, I told him, yeah, come on, what's it? So the crazy.
Iron Clay? Oh.
So now, so he texted me the other day, he said, people start to spread rumors. I said, why do you need a Goldstein? Payback.
There's a couple guys out there that say that what's the thing, Davis, moving Davis in the air.
Yeah, I used to win him one out of every 7
Who
games.
Davis plays with you?
Yeah, we good.
Plays
I
what?
heard he's good, I heard he's good.
What does he play?
Racquetball.
Oh, so he's not
He's a little good.
I was like, not
No,
football.
not football. Alvy Khan plays.
Yeah, he's the old guy.
Yeah.
Right.
He has just a shot, it's a great shot. He doesn't move much, so like, it's like,
I gotta do something.
get out there. What do you mean?
I gotta do something, either that or cover my leg, I lose 40 pounds.
I think it's more picking up the ball every single time. It's like, yeah, it's swing it in, pick up the ball, yeah, pick up, that's it. Hey, you're really in trouble. Oh yeah, football, I was something else. Say, what a wake up call. You're so like, you want to do certain things and you just can't do anything.
I got a metal plate in my hand. put into here, C5 and C6 views. I haven't, but you have mindset last year. I could just fall in with passion or something.
Oh, we need that surgery.
It still hurts me every night. My arm hurts me.
I never took mine either. I never took mine. Do you know that? I never took mine. I don't know.
I know my name.
What happened to it?
There's no room on my desk for anything.
Yes.
So I put my buddy.
I don't have mine. I know that you still the boy.
That's what I fear.
Sweat.
I never took mine. I wonder what they do. Where did they go?
This is the box in the back.
Mine's probably still there.
Seriously?
Is mine still there? Go find it.
Go right now.
Go get one. I want it so
I
before.
want no association whatsoever.
I'm not sure I want my association with the zoning board either, so it's all right.
No, it's fine. I don't want to stop. It's just.
Because I'm going, that's good. 2002.
Wow, that's 500.
So you guys eating? What are you doing?
Sure, because the chum is not going to be at 7:30. I mean, chum is going to be at 10 to 8. Maybe even a little later, because they have to walk down. And they don't start to back until the time of 4. So you have time.
That's gonna go over well, no?
Should be a problem.
What?
Okay?
Just as well.
You didn't know that might go over worse, a little worse. Hey, maybe they're putting you in on the back out. That's what it was true. Allie, I said they're gonna put Louis in on his back.
What about me? What about me? I miss it. I miss it. I really do.
Hey, Louis wants his name to.
I wouldn't be saying that too loud.
Who said that?
I want to know if my name's there, and I want to say.
Dave Marshall, that's not office. Someone give me some information.
Those are so much nicer.
Are they?
Well, maybe it's just a light sign on it. I thought it was like LED light.
You're gonna take it back.
That's how what's your plan in your car.
Unless Ellie pocketed it, it was. Yeah, it's up here. Yes, yeah, because I put David Hickerson's down there too. Yeah, he expired and they appointed Stable instead. He was an alternate, so he was only 2 years anyway. I mean, both. His term expired and he wanted to retire. So.
Was that, I've heard that,
Yeah, oh, here it is. Yeah, Ellie had been filed.
Very sad. You earned that. That's your name on it. Your name tag.
Doesn't say like, oh, yours actually says planning.
Why is the board member?
The other one's like, yeah, he's just saying.
Got it. Allie, you should see my zoning board one day.
Yeah.
I never took it.
You like it
Hey,
back?
you guys notice the new carpet in here?
Yeah.
Yes, we already discussed it last night. Last night I just went.
I didn't notice it last night. I didn't notice it until I got up here and I saw the difference in
Well,
here.
last night I looked and I noticed right away, I asked just Jackie, I asked all the females in the room noticed, and
And that's the guy.
So they looked at that, and they're like, why is he that?
I knew they put something here. I didn't know what it was.
I noticed, that's nothing.
That's what Sarah said. She said at the meeting today, she said she smelled
You
it.
can smell it, when you walk into the room, it's empty.
Yeah.
When I came in yesterday, I didn't really smell it. Something's different, on the floor.
Yeah, about the fence. She didn't specify they want to switch that. They want to put the storage in the basement and use the attic space.
Study center, or shul, or whatever you're calling it,
I mean, essentially, it's meant for residential compliance because they've taken over
but it wouldn't make a difference anyways, because it's existing. Yeah. Huh? Oh, boy.
It's not that bad.
I didn't do it. No, I'm looking for George.
I mean, it's not two stories with an attic, right?
Nope.
Or is it called third?
He's doing
Well, it just says two storage units.
Justin's back there fighting.
Right.
It's funny, somebody tells me, no, it's just funny, if you were in there, you'd be around in 5 minutes. How much you just do something?
What I'm saying, my invoice is show about, I have to find out.
Justin's no, Justin is buying into all this.
Not through call
Yeah, he thinks
he
he-
probably also.
Huh? You want one?
Sometimes it's, you know.
What's now?
West County.
Sable and possibly some machine.
Not gonna be coming?
And ask for a motion to go back into session.
Move.
Do you have a second? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Okay, I would ask for a motion for the secretary.
I'll move Ali Morris for the planning board secretary.
Do I have a second? Mr. Renner, second. Roll call.
Let the record reflect Mr. Grunberger has arrived. Mr. Grunberger.
Yes.
Mr. Franklin.
Yes.
Mr. Sable.
Yes.
Mr. Blanchard.
Yes.
Mr. Herzl.
Yes.
Mr. Renner.
Yes.
Mr. Rocco.
Congratulations, Ali. Another great year. Okay, for recording secretary, I need a motion for a recording secretary.
I'll make a motion to appoint Sarah Forsythe as the recording secretary.
Okay, do we have a second? Mr. Renner, seconds. Roll call.
Mr. Grunberger. Yes. Mr. Franklin.
Yes.
Mr. Sable. Yes. Mr. Blanchard.
Yes.
Mr. Herzl.
Yes.
Mr. Renner.
Yes.
Mr. Rocco. Yes.
Okay, section C. I would ask for a motion for the attorney.
We had deliberations, and there's still some questions about the candidates and their experience. It's hard to tell things about someone from a piece of paper. It's like answering, I guess, a personal ad and trying to go on a date and then choose somebody. So we'd like to conduct interviews of the candidates for the attorney position. So we will be appointing, I'd like to make a motion to appoint John Jackson on an interim basis to allow us a chance to conduct interviews before the next planning board meeting, and then we can have further deliberations based on the interviews.
Okay, do we have a second on the motion?
I'll second.
Okay, Mr. Franklin, second. Roll call.
Grunberger. Yes. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Mr. Franklin.
Yes.
Mr. Sable.
Yes.
Mr. Blanchard.
Yes.
Mr. Herzl.
Yes.
Mr. Renner. Mr. Rocco. Yes.
Thank you very much.
I would ask now for a motion for planner and engineer.
I'll make a motion to appoint Remington, Vernick, and Vina for the planner and the engineer for 90 days.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Yeah, Angela second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Grunberger.
Yes.
Mr. Franklin.
Yes.
Mr. Sable.
Yes.
Mr. Flansbrough.
Yes.
Mr. Herzl.
Yes.
Mr. Renner.
Yes.
Ms. Graham.
Yes.
Okay. Swear, we need a roll call? Should we do that before, yes?
I will do a roll call. I also know that, Kimberly's going to be taking over for the 4 applications we have on tonight, as not one of the meetings yet.
Don't hold against me and getting on
Okay?
Who's better than Lakewood?
No, he means you're getting that phrase from Kimberly.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
I will take that roll call when you're finished.
Yes, please.
Mr. Grunberger.
Here.
Mr. Franklin.
Here.
Mr. Sable.
Here.
Mr. Flansbrough.
Here.
Mr. Herzl.
Here.
Mr. Renner. Mr. Shane. Mr. Brazos. Here. Mr. Clark. Mr. Committee, and
Roll
Acting
call.
and Mayor Cole.
Okay, swear your professionals. This is the last time you're going to be swearing in, our board. You have one more? You have to get a good replacement. It's hard shoes to fill. What? Okay, memorization of resolutions. And please, just say who is here.
SC 2175, denial of a minor subdivision, intended for Franklin Place, Palm Personal and Barclay.
Move.
Okay, second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
SB 2248 was the denial of the site plan for Aaron Mansour, Grunberger, Franklin Place, Palm Personal, Barclay.
Move.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
SB 2256, major site plan for a synagogue, Franklin Place, Palm Personal, Granite, Barclay.
Move.
Wait a second.
You were on that one.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
SE 2146, extension of minor subdivisions, and the following two were also the same intent, which is Grunberger, Franklin, Flansbrough, Herzl, and Barclay.
Okay. Make a motion? Move.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
2312, minor subdivision.
Okay. Have a motion? Move, have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And 2143, extension of a minor subdivision.
Okay. Move, second? No?
Was I here for this?
Yes, you did.
Okay. That's right, yeah, second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Number 6, correspondence.
Before we start with correspondence, if you don't mind, Chairman, we have two public hearing items that are carrying.
Please be quiet in the meetings.
One is noted on the agenda, as requesting to carry, that's SB 2262 AA, Congregation Tourist MS. For clarification, as you speak to the board member earlier, I had referenced the wrong project that was carrying. This one listed on the agenda, Tourist MS is carrying to a future meeting date. The next meeting is January 23rd. I'm fine with scheduling for then, and that's good.
How heavy is the agenda?
There's about 8 on that night right now.
And they're not noticing the event.
They will not be providing new notice, correct?
Okay, so I have a motion to move it to the 21st?
I'll move it.
23rd.
23rd, I'm sorry.
I'll move it to the 23rd.
Do I have a second? Okay, Mr. Sable, second, all in favor?
Aye.
And the other one is SB 2129A, hearing fine, the applicant found out today that they had a neighbor with some concerns. They're requesting to carry that to February 6th public hearing date, and their engineers are available at the next meeting on the 23rd. Sometimes that's scheduling as well.
Okay, do I have a motion to move it?
Yeah, move to the 23rd.
It is, no, to February 6th.
Oh, February 2nd. Sorry, yeah, February 6th. Yeah, I'll move it.
Number 4. Number 4, no? Okay, all in favor to move to February 6th?
Aye.
Okay, do you want to announce, Kimberly, you want to announce these two things? I don't know if anybody's here. Number 3 and number 6.
SB 2262 is on January 23rd.
Members of the public, please be advised that application SP 2262AA Congregation Tourist Amos will be heard in this meeting hall January 23rd at 6 p.m. No further notice shall be given. SB 2129A for Miriam Klein will be heard February 6th, 2018 in this meeting hall at 6 p.m. No further notice shall be given.
Okay, thank you. Any other changes to the agenda?
No.
Okay, go to number 6, correspondence.
Under correspondence is SB 2208, which is Lakewood. Mr. Kishuba had previously discussed with the board, I believe, that the second time coming back with review Terry on the administrative changes and the interior search for.
Okay, Terry, is there anything to say on the correspondence?
I'm sorry.
Do you have anything to say on the correspondence?
Nothing new, and I believe we had talked about this at the last meeting. There was the additional space and
That's correct. So we were, before we recall, we did come previously for a correspondence on this. The application was approved by the board for site plan for a new office building on the old Missouri Natural Gas office site next to the parkway entrance on Airport Road. We are proposing to revise the third floor of that office compliant with the parking requirements. We're proposing, we submitted an architectural plan to Terry for his review. We previously had a small mezzanine shown in the third floor, and we were over park. We had 12 access parking stalls. Once the client looked at the architectural and the cost of the same, it didn't make much sense to just put a small mezzanine in. So we decided to amend the plans to what we submitted now. 4,390 square feet on the third floor. That's gross floor area. The entirety of that third floor, which is required by ordinance. We are compliant with the parking requirements.
How much parking space do you have?
149. And
what's required?
7 are required.
For 4,000 square feet, all you need is 12 parking spaces? On the third floor?
300, it's 4,000 square feet.
Right.
Okay. 300, about 12.
Okay. Are there any new variances?
No new variances. I would note Terry did bring up accurately that the architectural plan we showed had a little bump out on the rear. That the architect added just for an architectural feature, which extended into the setback. We're not asking for that variance. So to make clear for the record, we are not going to amend the footprint at all. And the architectural plan will be updated to demonstrate that. So no, there are no new variances, no changes. As far as the site plan is concerned, the only difference is the square footage of the third floor. The entirety of the site plan remains the same.
I don't know on the record I would like for this year, the package would be complete. You can have architectural, very, the plan that we're looking on is to be what we're voting on. Know that people are going to bring it in later. The package should be complete with architectural, whatever we need. I know sometimes we're missing architecturals.
Oh, okay. Well, unfortunately, if someone's asking for a waiver for something, I can't not schedule them for anything. But it is a submission requirement to include architecturals.
Okay.
And so the board's aware, there are times that we have architectural and the board acts upon the architecture. So those architecturals may change during site plan compliance. So that happens occasionally as well, where we will be looking at an approved plan and the architecturals change and we catch it. We say, okay, we're not sure that this meets, so that comes back here.
So it has to come back to the board if the architecturals change?
If the architecturals deviate from what was approved, especially if they trigger variances, yes.
To be fair, this is needed.
So, just to be clear on this one point, if application is submitted, and let's say it's a conforming application, everything's conforming, the auto variance is rendered, and we get architectural the applicant cannot go ahead and send to the engineering office other architectural layout without coming back here?
More often than not, for purposes of a board hearing, or purposes of a board hearing anywhere, you will not get on the applicant doesn't know if they're going to get approved. They don't know if they're getting approved or they're going to change it, or they can make it. Very often, the architectural plans get are very often and the site in terms of what more often than not, it's not a problem. There are times where they'll get the architecture, they'll catch up with the site. It's not unusual to have differences between noise plan layouts that are shown on site plans.
So, I guess, and there's not always come there. I just don't understand.
We always get architecturals during the plans, and they're always more finished, or usually more finished than what the board sees for the purpose of the hearing. Sometimes there's no problem with them, sometimes there are. Sometimes we want architecturals, they have to create a conflict with the site design, because the site design didn't have. Or it may be a case where, all right, had we had that information in the beginning, we said, well, it was not the case with this revised information.
So when do we get it back? When do we get it back and when don't we get it back?
You get it back if there is a deviation that requires either board action on a variance or
A lot of times we do it subject to the
That's fine.
engineer.
I just want to make sure the understanding of the board is just in general, that we only get it back when it's going to trigger something on the site plan that's different. Or,
In this case, it was considered, the board engineer had concern that the addition of a third floor, even though it wasn't impacting the site design, because it's just addition going up, that was considered a material change that the board may be concerned about. The board may want to know about that.
I think
That
that
is kind of a big deal.
I think it definitely is.
Not moving a product from one side of the building to the other.
It definitely is when you do a whole floor and there's another 4,000 square feet, you need parking.
we're trying to make sure that what you approve is what gets built. And if we see a deviation, we recommend bringing it back. We're very often correspondence. If the board sees something that they feel is, you know, this is very different, you have the right to request an amendment plan. Or whenever we see something that we feel deviates from what you approved, we want to bring it to your attention.
Can I raise that question? I have a quick question on this. Would you mind, just running through what the variance is and why the variance that was given, that was granted a 30-foot, front yard setback, why you feel that's a variance that should be granted?
It was granted already?
Well, yeah, there was a 30-foot front yard setback that was previously granted by the board. It was where the building backs up to the Garden State Parkway access, which is a DOT did not allow an access point from there. There was also testimony at the time of the distance of the actual Parkway road from the property line. The Parkway right of way through that section is exceptionally wide. It was quite a while ago when I gave that testimony, I don't remember the exact distance, to be honest. But those were the factors that we had testified to at the time to justify the setback grounds. And in our case, in our interpretation or my testimony was this acts more as a side or rear setback, given its location, given that we're not permitted access to the Parkway access point, and that we are so far from the roadway and screened from additional trees in that area that.
Would you mind just pointing out where the setback
Right.
is?
The Parkway access point off of Airport Road is here, extends up. Right.
And there is screening over there? What kind of screening do you have?
We were proposing as part of the application that we have a row or two of evergreens that were proposed.
Any other questions for any board members?
And then there's a,
Sorry.
the rear yard setback. There's a rear yard setback. Where's that?
That's right here.
That's also in the back of the property. What backs up to that?
That backs up to the, project property. Where, that's the buffer for the road.
Any other questions, any board members? Seeing none, we'll close it. Well, that's so much, we don't
I
need
just
to.
remember, John, if you don't mind, I remember you bringing up something about, it was when the cogen plan came back, where they wanted to redo something. You weren't happy with the screening that was put in when the original plant was done? Did something ring a bell from maybe 5 years ago? No?
Yeah, that's a few years ago.
Right. I just want to know if you guys.
Was it done on a landfill over there? No.
I don't remember.
No. We don't have to open it about the correspondence, right? Okay, I would ask for a motion on this correspondence.
Okay, I move to approve the request of the correspondence.
Mr. Blanco moves. Do you have a second? Mr. Renner seconds. Roll call.
Mr. Repler.
Yes.
Mr. Franklin.
Yes.
Mr. Sable.
Yes.
Mr. Flansbrough.
Yes.
Mr. Herzl.
Yes.
Mr. Renner. Mr. Rossi. Yes.
The second correspondence.
Second correspondence, SB 2010, which is a subdivision for Jacob Lipschitz. The engineer has redesigned what was previously above ground, storm management basin, I believe to be underground. As such, there's really no longer need to keep the landscaping that was proposed along the basin and along Route 9. They like to believe that, with their lines and clarify it, but the purpose is wrong.
If you don't mind, can I just second before you start this application here? Just because there have been problems in the past, I remember with the applicant's count of parking based on the square footage of the building and what's counted in the building. And I don't remember exactly what it was. We supposed to count zero, the parking space, whatever.
I believe the UBO was certified.
And as long as you double checking.
When this project was originally approved, there was a large underground detention basin on the west side of the project between these two duplexes and River Avenue. Since then,
It was an open basin, not underground.
No, this is
To re-
all underground pipes.
Recharge system?
Recharge system.
Okay.
Okay, and because it was in the rear yards of the houses, to access it, there was a driveway coming in off River Avenue, and then a paved access road, so that underground basin could recharge basin could be
Service.
serviced. There's also a row of evergreens along the River Avenue front. Before it was built, we redesigned the entire recharge system to place it in the right-of-way of Hilton Avenue with some individual recharge systems for each of the duplexes. That made it so that this rear 40 feet of the property, basically between the duplexes and River Avenue, did not have to be cleared. We're back tonight to get a waiver from the row of evergreens and the improvements. DOT has been out, has inspected the site because we're on the state highway. They have released us from any obligation for any road improvements along Route 9.
So what are you doing with that area with the recharge? Leaving it the way it is?
Exactly the way
Is it wooded?
It's wooded, it's nicely wooded, it's, good 40 feet of trees. If you drive by, it looks nice, you have a really nice buffer in the backs of those houses.
Any questions, any board members? I would ask for a motion.
Did it ever been part of another subdivision?
No, it can't.
It's off Route 9.
Right, it's off Route 9. By the time you take that 53 feet, desirable typical section,
Right.
67, whatever, that would leave you about a swath of about 20 feet. Then you have the rear setbacks for the house, you have the rear setbacks for these houses. Like I said, it's really a very narrow strip.
There's nothing can be done with it.
And there's a deed restriction.
Oh, there's a deed.
Yeah, because it was an original.
So it was gonna be cleared for the basin, but now it's not cleared, so you're just gonna leave it
But
wooded.
it's still research. Yes,
Okay, I would ask for a motion on this correspondence.
Okay, I'll move to accept the request.
Mr. Flansbrough moves. Mr. Grunberg, second. Roll call.
Mr. Grunberger. Yes. Mr. Franklin.
Yes.
Mr. Sable.
Yes.
Mr. Flansbrough.
Yes.
Mr. Herzl.
Yes.
Mr. Renner. Mrs. Rafferty. Yes. Chairman, I did just get notice that one other application was made.
Oh, wait, so not to interrupt you. It talks about fencing here too. You didn't say anything about the fencing, you just mentioned landscaping. All you mentioned was trees, nobody mentioned fencing. Nobody said anything about fencing.
There was a fence around that as well. There was a fence around the basin. The applicant actually, and
Well,
customers will probably have to have
What you just said was that you wanted a waiver for not planting arborvitae, but you didn't say you want a waiver to not install the fencing. Where was the fencing supposed to go?
Yes.
I don't,
I just want to make clear you understand there's not going to be fencing either.
Come back again with correspondence?
Yeah, in other words.
There probably will be fencing.
Okay.
The,
I don't know if you need the fencing, if there's no.
And just the fencing, what?
it'll be before the trees, it will be after the trees.
Okay.
You don't want trees like Route 9. I believe the development.
Well, I think the fencing's important because it's people's backyards on Route 9, so I think you should leave the fencing.
You should leave it.
That's, I think the other improvements will be removed.
Okay.
Just no trees, but you're leaving the fencing.
Clarifying that the fence will stay.
Fence is going to stay,
We'll
okay.
leave the other improvements there.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll leave the other improvements.
Okay, Ally, which one is being tabled tonight?
SB 2101 Prairie Ingram is requesting to carry February 6th as well.
Okay, do we have a motion to move? Is there any time constraints on it?
Which one is that?
Do we notice?
No, we can announce the carry, and they have not entered them under action yet. They had given a waiver because this is actually a full project that was deemed complete 2016, and will take it.
Okay. Number 5. Number 5 will be moved to February 6th.
Okay.
We'll move it?
You want me to move it? Yeah, I'll move it to February
Rick, Roger,
6th.
second. Mr. Renner, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, can we put your answer, please?
Members of the public, please be advised, application SD 2101 for Meyer Weinbrand will be heard at this meeting hall at 6 p.m. on February 6th, 2018. No further notice will be given.
Ally, the Richard Zone will be on the 15th. Okay, no, the public hearing number 1.
In the middle of the meeting. We're in the middle of the meeting.
Okay, please continue.
The first application under public hearing is SB 2298 for David Herzog. It's a major subdivision to create 7 lots from 3 on East Kennedy and County Line.
Terry, would you like to go through the variances? Mr. Saban, I'm just explaining. First thing we start, our engineer, which is Terry, will go through any variances. You have them in your packet. Remember, we'll go through any variances, things that we should look out for, and then the applicant's engineer will speak. And the first thing we hear from our engineer, he can start.
All right, first thing I want to talk about, Chairman, is the submission waivers. If you look at page 3 of our letter, the applicant requested waivers, including traffic study, topo contours and man-made features within 200 feet, EIS and tree protection management. We support the traffic impact waiver on the basis that it's from the county highway, and the jurisdiction obviously is going to be with the Asian County Planning Board in terms of access. We also support the fee waivers as listed in the 11 information. We support the EIS on the basis that DEP mapping does not show any environmental constraints. And finally, we support the protection management waiver for Erie purposes only. If the board acts favorably, we will receive a plan and we will ensure that the board
I'll ask for a motion.
What was the first waiver that you went through?
The first waiver was the traffic study.
So, my opinion, I want to hear what other members have to say, is that although it's the county that's going to give the final okay, yes or no on the ingress and egress, but if there are variances that are being requested in the application, we may want to, I would want to see a traffic study. I think that we've spoken about this in the past, to try to get a traffic study. Maybe it would sway my decision one way or another.
That's certainly your right.
Harry, does the county require a traffic study?
The county typically requires traffic study. They will do a traffic study.
So it has to be done regardless.
Well, the county will take the traffic impact statement on a project of this scope that's set out. The traffic impact statement tells you how much traffic is being generated, what the roads are, and it's a very limited, very short. It's like a short traffic study. A traffic study counts and does a whole lot of other things.
I'm sorry,
when you have to within 7.
Yes, we have time from what's sworn.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony given before this board will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the
I
truth?
do. Brian Flannery, Jackson, New Jersey, licensed professional engineer, professional planner.
Like you said before, it was
So,
all on
yes,
record.
the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
With all due respect to Mr. Renner, Mr. Renner was asking, Terry questions. I just want Ellie to finish with Terry.
And based on that answer, I personally feel, like what other members feel, is that it could sway my decision one way or another, whatever is going to be submitted to the county. And because it has to be submitted to the county, anyway, it has to be done, we should be able to see that.
Something that
So that's why I asked, if they have to do it with the county of language, if they have to do it with the county, why not give it to us?
And that's why I answered your question, that I don't think the county is going to require a traffic study. So your point was it has to be done anyway. The county routinely accepts the traffic.
So then what Terry just said, that the reason why he supports the waiver is because it's going to be done in the county anyways, is not a good reason to grant a waiver.
Well,
It should not be granted.
I think what you're hearing, if I could, Chairman, is the difference between traffic study and traffic impact statement. Is that correct, Brian?
Yes.
Yeah, and well, I think
Could you explain the difference?
to Ellie's point,
Not as well as the county. The county is typically going to require what they need for several things. They regulate access, so they're going to want enough information, whether it's site design, whether it's study, to know that what they're proposing is as access is adequate. Secondly, if there are long-term improvements that this development is going to contribute to need, they're going to want to assign their own fee assessment. That's typically the two things that the county is going to look for in my experience.
Yes, and Terry's letter indicates they support it because the traffic is going to be reviewed by the county. And the county, my experience with the county, the traffic impact statement for 7 lots, it says you get 10 trips per day per unit times 7 is 70, is a very simple thing. And that traffic impact statement on small jobs is sufficient for the county. They look at the traffic then, and they know the traffic for the whole road. They have counts. We all know what County Line Road is like. It's a heavily trafficked road.
Parking lot.
Yes.
So if just a traffic impact statement would be okay for the county, it's such a small, it's a small thing to do. Maybe to Ellie's point, so we should do that beforehand.
And the traffic impact statement was submitted.
Oh, was it?
Who does the traffic impact
A
statement?
traffic impact statement was submitted, Terry? Okay.
You know what, no, I do, you know what, I stand corrected. It is listed in the revised letter. That should have been revised in the submission waivers. There is a traffic impact analysis. If you would like, I could find it in the folder and summarize the results.
Are you okay with the results?
Oh, yeah, that's what we got.
Procedurally, the county is going to require what it feels is necessary to ensure that what they're proposing for access is adequate. Whether it's a study, whether it's a full-blown statement, whether it's more design information than you would typically see. I don't have an issue deferring the access to Ocean County. I'll be happy to comment on what I have in the folder. My letter is referencing an impact statement. entities recently that do have an impact analysis. We've had recently with applications, if you want to go to schools, if you remember, there's been several applications that have gone from the board and said, we don't have the traffic study this time, and the reason was there was an issue with economy and so it's not the first time that the board has acted in the absence of a traffic study. However, it's your application here, particularly if there's a leak, if you feel that there's a need for a detailed review, I can tell you based upon the study that Ron included, there's 7 lots, it's entitled traffic impact analysis, proposed development.
Is it on level C?
I don't even know if they give it along the service.
You made up, that's the level C, right?
The county engineering department knows their roads and their levels of service better than anybody.
Okay.
I can't tell you whether it's a C, D, E, F. I can't tell you that. They're not going to approve this if they're not comfortable, if they feel for some reason that certain improvements are necessary.
I just want to tell you where I'm coming from. Where I'm coming from is that we have a huge problem with traffic in this town. And something's going to be required for the county anyways. I don't want to hear that we're, waiting for this board, if the requirement is here for the board. Let's have the full package, let's get it reviewed by the professionals.
Our recommendations are just that. If you feel the need to see something, to talk further about it, particularly if there's a need, you're absolutely fine.
Okay. I would ask the motion to go along with the engineer's recommendations on the waivers.
I'll move to go along with the engineer's
Okay,
recommendation.
do we have a second?
I second it.
All right, second. All in favor of the waivers?
Aye.
Aye. And there's no. Okay. Terry, could you please continue on to the variance?
Continuing on the variance relief, as indicated on the bottom of page 3, variances are requested, including minimum lot area, new lots 1.02 through 1.07, minimum lot width for new lots 1.01 through 1.07. We comment, although it's not a lead per se, but based on the architectural plans, you have a number of rooms shown in the basement, the second floor, and the attic. And if approved, the off-street parking is ultimately going to be determined at plot plan review, and it's going to be based upon the UDO requirements, whether that's 4 spaces, 5 spaces, or other. I believe that is it for variance relief. Under design waivers, design waivers required for permanent improvement of major avenue right away, as well as providing street trees along the major avenue frontage. And finally, a design waiver is required from the private sidewalk along the proposed lot 1.06 frontage east and
Really, 1.06?
What number is 1.06?
Everyone, on an R12, what's the width? It's 90, right?
This is R15.
I know, I'm thinking if it would work with an R12.
I believe that sounds correct.
It sounds like 90.
Yeah.
Okay. Brian?
I have 3 exhibits marked. A1 is the tax map in the area showing the subject property in orange. A2 is a tax map of the development across the street that was approved by this board, showing the development with other 12,000 square foot lots, the majority of them being 12,000 square foot lots, and the corner lots being larger than 12,000 square feet, similar to what's being proposed here. A3 is the subject property. We have one 25,000 square foot lot, a 13,000 square foot, and then the rest of them are 12 and change, consistent with the development across the street that was approved by this board last year, or the year before recently. The property, I'm sure the board remembers, is between Carolina Street and the Calvary School and the old Holy Family School. There's a wooded area here, and I'd like to say this is the last wooded area in Lakewood that hasn't been developed. It's an R15 zone. I've been coming to the board a long time, and back in the 90s, I heard this is the last area, this is the last area, and I think we may be at the last area. So we're proposing single-family lots. We have different sizes, so that the average is roughly 15,000 square feet. But we have 12,000 square foot lots along here. We're asking for a variance for 12,000 instead of 15,000. We're asking for lot width. The smallest would be 70 feet. On A2, the lots in this development.
Wait, 1 second. How do you have an average of 15,000 square feet?
Because we have a 25,000.
Oh, so you're counting this one 25,000 square foot lot
Yes.
as part of that. So if you don't count that 50,000, 25,000.
If you don't count the 25,000, then
It's 12.
It's less.
Oh,
Yes.
12. So it's
So
about
it's-
what? That would be about 12,000.
It'd be 12 and change. It'd be 12 and change consistent with the majority of the lots on the other side of the street.
Brian, lots on the other side of the street, how wide are they?
77 now.
Okay, they're all in the 70s.
Yes.
It's similar to what you're proposing.
Yes. Yes. And the lots, as you can see on the plan, they fit nice sized houses. One of the waivers we're asking for is not including Mason Street, which is the paper street behind us. I don't know how the area is going to develop. This application doesn't need that street developed. We're asking for the waiver. Obviously, the waiver the board would have to grant. If the board doesn't grant the waiver, we have to build that street. We're asking for a waiver for putting in shade trees and street trees on that road either, because again, if nobody's ever developed it, it would be a waste to put that in.
And it's developed, and then you plan on splitting the 25,000 square foot lot in half?
Well, if
Subdividing?
if the area back here is developed without building that road, I would imagine the owner, during one owner would ask for a vacation of that, and then the extra 25 feet would go into the lot.
Who owns that property? The township?
I'm not sure who owns. It's, the property on the other side of Clinton is owned by the town. The properties in the back, for the most part, are not. There is block 79 is owned by the town, and I know Mr. Truckers owns a lot of properties in that area also. It's a lot of different little owners.
Well, why aren't you providing sidewalks in this county line?
Because before they drew the plans, they didn't ask me my opinion. The reasoning when it was designed not to do the sidewalk there is because the county's going to widen it and the sidewalks would be eliminated. I know that argument's not going to get very far with you guys, so I'm not going to waste all of our time. If the board feels we need sidewalk, obviously we'll put a sidewalk along County Line Road.
The answer is yes.
Did you ever look at a plan that conforms and see how many lots you could get into this?
I did not. Obviously, it's easy to just figure that out. We lose a lot to have it that conforms. In my opinion, if I finish my testimony, we're asking for C2 variances. I'm going to give you the, from the new 2017 master plan, the reasons. I'm going to give you the reasons from the municipal land use law, and we're going to balance the C2 criteria of, the positive criteria and the negative criteria. I prefer to give my testimony first before we get into that part of it, so that maybe the testimony will be compelling, and by the time I'm done, then nobody will have that question any further. Part of it is the location. You're located between schools and across the street. Most of the development on the other side, because it was another Humanic property further down the street, that was done the same way with 12,000 square foot lot. So it'd be consistent with the area.
Could you explain to me why, because it's between schools, that's a good reason why the lot should be smaller?
Yes, because the issue with traffic congestion is density. And when you go to density is impacted by what else is around. If there's parks around, and in this case there's a park here, you're not getting any density from that park. You're not getting any density from the schools that are there. So we're talking one extra house in an area that's deficient in houses from a compared to other R-15 areas that don't have parks and schools and, areas of that nature.
And I think the residential value is not in between schools.
Yes, well, and the master plan says we have housing. This is an availability to provide that one additional housing unit, where in my opinion, there's going to be no detrimental impact. One extra housing unit on County Line Road, it's a parking lot now. These people will be assessed an impact fee from the county. The township currently does not have an impact fee in this area. While the master plan said they should, and I don't think they've implemented it yet. It's certainly something that makes sense. The whole southern part of town has impact fees, and that was implemented last year, early last year. And the reasoning for that, I can't read the township big line, but as the planning board pointed out, the places where the traffic improvements need to be made was in that area surrounding Oak Street 4 and the area surrounding the Prospect Street 4. Those were done first. The planning board's recommendation is that it should be everywhere. I certainly agree with the planning board recommendation. I represent developers. Developers are happy to pay their share to help the road be fixed. Because all we heard through the master plan process is we have an overdevelopment problem. My assessment is we have roadways underdeveloped.
Right, roadways, that's
the roadways are underdeveloped. So the roadways, well, I'm talking about the public. The public, so I think that it's overdeveloped. The way you hear from everybody is Lakewood is overdeveloped. And I don't think anybody would be complaining that the roadways were properly developed. And the way to do that is either with taxpayer money or with impact fees. And this developer will pay impact fees to the county, which in this area will help County Line Road.
You know how much the impact fees may be?
The impact fees to the county usually range about $2,000 per year.
So you want a variance to get an extra unit for $2,000?
Well, we don't want a variance to get an extra unit that we think is bad. We think the extra unit is good. We think, and I testified before this board and before other boards, that a 12,000 square foot lot in Lakewood is almost like an escape zone. You go to a lot of the areas where this 12,000 square foot lot is a beautiful size lot. Lakewood is a regional center where we have some dense areas, and then surrounding it, 12,000 square foot lots of beautiful lots. We had a 13,000 and 25,000.
I sort of agree with you. I do agree with you. But on the other hand, there is a master plan and there is a zoning map, and there are R15 areas, there are R20 areas. So if we want to change everything to an R12, it could be on.
Well, I don't want to change everything to an R12 because if this was an R12, I'd be here asking great lots now, because we'd be saying that the extra lot doesn't create any problem. I think the.
Can I see clarification, Chair?
Yeah.
We're hearing talk about extra lots. This is not a density issue that we're talking about.
That's correct.
You do not require a density.
No, because we have this 25,000 square foot lot that.
So the average lot size is, the average lot size is equal or more than 50,000.
Oh, no. With all due respect, he's including the average.
I'm including the 25,000, so that we have a density, the density that's allowed by the R15 is 3 per acre.
Otherwise, it couldn't be an home.
Right.
Right, we're allowed 3 per acre.
I'm not arguing with the board's questions. I'm saying we need some clarification that because it's not a density issue, it can stay.
Oh, I think it was before, but it's still a density issue, not proposed to the zoning board, but there is a density issue because if there wouldn't be any variances granted, we'd be one less house. So it is a density issue.
And with one less house, we can fully conform?
Yes.
We'd like to go through the rest of the
Yes.
report. Is there anything else that you?
Well, looking at Terry's report, zoning, item 1 says it's permitted use. Item 2 talks about the lot areas, which we spoke about. Item 3 is the width, which we spoke about. Item 4, the comment with respect to the number of parking spaces. What we've shown is approximately units that will be built. These will be custom houses, so somebody's going to pick them out. If they have more bedrooms and they need more parking, the house will line back and we'll parking it. At time of flood plan, the number of parking spaces the design waivers we spoke about on Major Avenue, which we don't feel will be improved and doesn't need to be improved, we're asking for those waivers. And the waiver for the sidewalk on County Line Road, we're no longer asking for. We've seen the light of the board, we're saying we're going to put sidewalk on County Line Road. The justification for them, because these are C2 variances, if you look at the 2007 master plan on page 2, the background information, it goes into all the growth in Lakewood. Down bottom it says, looking ahead, anticipated Lakewood population will continue to grow, and it's demonstrated in the smart growth plan, and the very end of that paragraph. In 2015, there were a total of 4,464 births to Lakewood Township residents. Based on this information, it is therefore important that Lakewood plan for residential development and housing growth population. And that's where I'm saying, I think it's a benefit, as stipulated in the master plan. On page 7 of the same master plan, it says encourage growth and development in appropriate locations and consistent with established land uses. Here we have a wooded area. The only land uses we have established is like the park to the north, the cul-de-sac, which are kind of isolated on Carolina, and the school area to the east.
It doesn't make any sense, these arguments you make. It doesn't make any sense. We just went through a master plan. We just set what the zone should be. And all of a sudden, we're taking a piece and saying back to the system.
Well, we're still saying it should be an R12. But we're saying there's C2 variances that are still permitted in accordance with the municipal land use law. And to grant the C2 variance, we have to show that it relates to a specific piece of property. So that's what I'm laying out. This is a specific piece of property. It's not like every other property in the town is the same. We have to show that the purposes of the municipal land use law would be advanced. And that's what I indicated with respect to the need for housing. We have to show that the variance can be granted without substantial detriment to the public good. And that's the impact on the surrounding area. Well, the surrounding area across the street is similar to that. And it was approved by this board when that area was in R15. And the master plan said it should be in R15. But the reasoning at that time was the C2 variance is the benefit that would be detriment. And then we come to the critical part of it, where we have to show that the benefits outweigh the detriment. And the detriment, obviously, will be tax to traffic. One extra house on County Line Road, where this applicant will be giving impact fees, would be down.
I was curious, what happened at the tech review meeting? At the tech review meeting, was there anything brought up about sidewalks, about improving the road? Was that brought up?
At the tech review meeting, there were some things on the plan that weren't there, and it was indicated that those things had to be added to the plan, with drainage calculations, the road profile, so that the engineer.
But there was nothing brought up about sidewalks or improving the road?
It was brought up about sidewalks and improving the road. One of the comments on the road, the plan that was submitted in accordance with the RSIS, was only 30 feet apart. And at that time, one of Terry's comments was it should be 32 feet, and the plan was changed to be 32 feet. The applicant, with respect to the sidewalk, because the sidewalk waiver was in there, the applicant, with respect to the sidewalk, said that he'd rather not put in sidewalk that the county, when they do improve it, they're going to have to remove. That was a mistake on his part.
So Terry, when at the tech review meeting, is there something brought up about the street being improved, or it's just about how wide the property is?
What we typically bring up in the initial review, which is what goes to the tech review. We have technical comments on the original application, as was evidence on both reviews. First, we identify where variances are required, and we identify where design is required. We can certainly talk about whether we think something's going to be improved or not, but ultimately it's the jurisdiction of the board. And you can see over the second year, this is my 10th year. The board has granted waivers in the past. The board is granting less waivers recently, in my experience. That's probably going to change over time. What we talked about at the tech meeting
Because I've heard our chairman speak a whole year, he doesn't stop talking about how the mayor keeps on telling him they don't want to do any project without improving roads. And he doesn't want to see the application.
And no variances applied.
The applicant has the right to request deviations. It's up to the board as to what we do or what we don't.
So there's no way for us to stop it from coming.
Can we say that it's not
You can't legally
complete?
say you are not allowed to request a variance. That procedure is allowed under the land use law and under the UDO. The board can hear the testimony and they can agree or they cannot.
Maybe you should bring it up on your report, that based on your experience with the board, then we will not approve.
We can bring it up, Chairman, but I think, in my opinion, that's just that. If we were voting members, that would be a we can certainly add it, we can add to the this may not be.
Now, I'll explain, sometimes we overlook things, but you as a professional, if you see these things, you should bring it to our attention, and we should know what we're voting on.
We typically recite on every major application, we recite submission waivers, variances, and design waivers. And I feel that we've been thorough in that regard, at least we know thorough. I certainly recite.
Thank you. Okay.
So it's my testimony that the variance should be granted without any detriment to the zone plan and zoning ordinance, and without any detriment to the public trust.
What's for the garbage?
The garbage will be overworked, and it'll be cans that will be rolled out to the,
Rolled up with, that's on the road?
No, to,
one house that's on County Line Road, that will be rolled out unless the county wants that one house to roll it out with Lake. And we would do that. I've seen the garbage trucks on County Line Road and the houses that are on County Line. People put their cans out there and,
You're gonna have 14 the cans up on County Road from the 7 houses?
oh, no, not the 7 houses. They're all gonna go out to Lake.
And the truck will get in there?
The truck, has the availability to make a,
Okay,
turnaround at the end, yeah.
John, are you okay with it?
Yes.
With the turnaround, it works?
Yeah.
what type of landscaping is proposed around the project?
The ordinance requires, the street trees which we put in, there was a recommendation from the shade tree to put in, foundation plantings and other trees, and the applicant, since he's asking for variances, would certainly do any landscaping that the board feels is appropriate.
Do you agree to the recommendation of the
Yes.
city?
Yes, if the board acts favorably, we would agree to the recommendation.
I just think that, I just want to make a general comment. I think that if variances are being requested, we have to look at it as, okay, yes, you're giving the township another housing opportunity, which is nice, but what's the town getting? What's the town getting in return? Are we getting a nicer subdivision? Are we getting something that looks nicer? Are we getting something that performs better?
The benefits outweigh the detriment, so the landscaping would be an additional benefit.
You know, when you have that turnaround at the end there, I noticed you put asphalt curb on each end of it. Why don't you just put depressed concrete curb?
That's a good idea. The reason to not do that is because somebody's gonna have to work it out after, but it's a minimal expense.
Right.
And you're 100% right, it'll preserve the pavement much better.
Serve, right.
Yes,
Because the other way, the asphalt curb, you go about 3 snowplows.
yeah, yeah.
Brian, is there anything else in the report that you
No,
can
we
agree
would,
to?
we would comply with,
The rest of the report?
satisfy the item.
Any questions from any board members? Seeing none, we'll open it to the public. Members of the public would like to be heard in this application, please come forward. Seeing none, we'll close out the public. I would ask for a motion on this application.
I'll make a motion to deny the application.
You have a second?
I'll second the motion.
Okay, so the yes vote is a vote to deny the application.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Mr. Grunberger.
Yes.
Mr. Franklin.
Yes.
Mr. Sable?
Yes.
Mr. Flansbrough?
Yes.
Mr. Herzl?
Yes.
Mr. Renner? Mr. Grappos? Yes.
Okay, next.
Next application is SB 2269AA for registered garage in Old Chapel Inc. It's a change of use site plan extension and converting existing garage to a
I'm gonna step down from that.
Harry,
Yes.
Harry, would you like both of these? No, you don't feel like it.
Yes.
Yeah, take your time.
Whereas indicated in our letter, on page 2, we have change the use plan and under waivers, the waivers that have been requested, include a site plan design by an engineer architect, floor plan, minimum building setback lines, lighting, topography, and proposed grading. Those are sufficient waivers. Under design waivers, they include lighting, landscaping, trash, recycling, storage, proposed grading. We typically do not ask for a vote on sufficient waivers on change of use, since this is not a full site plan or subdivision. This is the board's choice. My recommendation would be for the application, more often than not, if you require that you want to favorably, such as parking, etc., you can make that, and at that point, the applicant to the engineer would have to give the proper design. But at this point, there is no change.
That's what they just going for a change, it's going with the existing house. They want to build.
There's a couple other things to look at under zoning. You have the existing non-conformance with respect to the existing minimum lot area and the front yard setbacks is noted, and also perimeter buffer relief is also necessary, as well as part and buffer. That is the application.
Thank you. Mrs. Weinstein.
Good evening. Mary Weinstein on behalf of the applicant, base managers of Hope Chapel, Inc. This application is for a site plan exemption change of use approval for conversion of the existing residence to a base managers to a study center. So to answer your question that you asked before, Mr. Chairman, we're keeping the existing house, we're just converting that existing house into a study center containing a 622 square foot sanctuary. We are providing 6 parking spaces. All the members really live in the backyard. I know you hear this all the time, but in this case it's actually true. We actually have the members who intend to utilize the study center on a regular basis. They can all come up to testify where they live. Many of them live on Hopewood Lane or on Clear Street Drive or across the street and literally do walk. There are 6 spaces for the people that don't. It really should be sufficient in terms of parking. I'm not even going to tell you that if the sanctuary is smaller than 800 square feet and we don't need parking, because that argument we've all given up on. We all know that, yes, we'd like to see as many parking spaces as we possibly can get, which is what the applicant has done. They've provided 6 parking spaces because that is the maximum that they can get on this lot, and we believe that it will be sufficient for this to operate. At this point, I guess I'll ask Brian Swarm.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give before this board will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do. Brian Flannery, Jackson, New Jersey, licensed professional engineer, professional planner. As Mary indicated, this is a site plan exemption for the change use for the existing home. The parking that's provided is 6 parking spaces, which exceeds the ordinance requirements, and we feel is sufficient for the proposed use. We're asking for waivers on the buffer, where we need 20 feet, we only have 19, so that would be de minimis.
That's existing.
Yes, and parking within 20 feet of the buffer, and again, it's a house that's been there a long time,
maximize the parking, which is usually what the board likes to see. And so we'd like the parking lot of the plan.
Certainly, if you look at the location of the property, it's got an intention basically behind it. It's a unique piece of property. If anybody remembers Kelly Kilowatt, it was at Kelly's old house. So I mean, it's been there for a while. It's something that the cost relief that we're requesting is not negatively impacting any neighbors. With respect to the review comments, in Terry's report, he indicates the same place, 122 feet, and we've shown the 6 parking spaces. We would certainly get DPW approval, and we would comply with the other requests.
Any questions from any board members?
One clarification,
Yes,
Brian, our comment number 2, testimony regarding ADA accessibility. We can't help in the drawing, just want to confirm the testimony as to what appears to be a movement along the front building.
As part of the permit from the building department, we would make it ADA accessible.
All right, so that is proposed to be
Yes.
ADA accessible?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Any questions from any board members? Mr. Grunberger?
Do you plan on putting up a new building here on this property?
Not this time. Maybe it's on in the future, but certainly not this time.
So whenever that happens, right now you're asking for a change of use, and there's an existing variance that's 13 feet from front yard setback. Is that variance going to be there when you come with the new building, or are you going to need
No, we have to come back and ask for a new variance.
If you want to build a new building,
You have to ask for new variances.
if you want to build a new building, you have to come back to the board?
Yeah, sure.
But even if that variance will be existing, it's there.
No. Once you demolish, it's gone.
Right.
Right, so it'll be a vacant lot. It'll be a vacant lot, and it'll be based on whatever the design is at the time.
I understand your concern, because a lot of times applicants come back and say it's an existing condition. Those are on smaller lots. You can see this lot has the room. So if the applicant did come back and ask for it, they would have to justify it, and with a larger lot, that would be a difficult variance to justify. And as we see tonight, variances are much more difficult to justify in 2018.
Also, Mr. Number, they probably would set the show back further because they want more parking spaces, and they can't get parking with the building that close.
The whole lot is buildable?
Yes.
And the garbage is
all the parking areas,
No,
all the parking areas will be asphalt,
Yes.
because it doesn't show,
They'll all be asphalt.
it will be curved around the asphalt.
We would not tend to put curb around it, because we're looking at it as fitting into an existing house, and that would cause drainage problems and other issues.
What's it? Sidewalks. You have sidewalks there?
We'll provide sidewalks to make sure there's a safe.
the sidewalks there now.
And one of the parking spaces will be handicap, right? Right?
We didn't propose that because there's no parking required, and the congregation doesn't feel it's needed.
Legally, you don't need handicap parking?
There's no parking required.
There's no parking
So
required.
the congregation is actually providing 6 spaces, which they don't need to provide.
Yes.
That's what they're saying.
Parking 6 spaces, because you know the planning board wants us to provide 6 spaces.
Oh, you have the space, so that's very nice. Very nice.
Okay. Anybody from the public would like to be heard? On
Yes.
this? Oh, boy. We're so excited. We saw her.
I'm affirming.
Yeah.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony given before this board will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I affirm. Louis Coleman, 55 Pedestrian Road, Lakewood, New Jersey. Being that I'm retired from the planning board, I have to find myself a new occupation or a new pass on here. I'm the rabbi this time, this organization. And everybody lives in the area, everybody uses it, we have no problems with parking, and it's a wonderful place, and if you'd like to come join, if you want to come pray with us, you're more than welcome. Thank you.
Can John lead the service? Can he do that?
Yeah.
Anybody else in the public like to be heard? Seeing no one, I would ask for a motion on the subject.
I would move a motion, this is a nice neighborhood synagogue with a great rabbi.
Could you
So
wait a second?
I'd move a motion to approve this application.
I'll second. Mr. Sable seconds. Roll call.
Mr. Grunberger.
Yes.
Mr. Franklin.
Yes.
Mr. Sable.
Yes.
Mr. Franklin.
Yes.
Mr. Herzl.
Yes.
And Mr. Grasso. Yes.
Okay, we're on the last one, right?
Last one, SB 2189
Oh, the last one, right?
amended preliminary and final major site plan for an addition. I wrote through an existing school here, is this from existing, or is this one that was approved but not built?
It's existing, but, it's existing, but there was actually an approved addition to the existing school. That wasn't built, and this is actually an amendment to that addition.
Let's just stop, Ms. Weinstein, we'll let Terry start the report.
Just play slide number five.
Yeah, please.
We gave you on page 3 of our letter of submission waivers, you have the United States. We support the waiver, surrounding properties are developed. The fact that there were previous approvals on this property for which the submission waiver was also granted.
Time, I hear you up there.
Do we have a motion to go along with the recommendation of the engineer on the waiver?
Yeah, I'd move to go along with the recommendation.
Thank you, second. Second, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, oh,
Zoning,
zoning.
Madam Chairman, as indicated under zoning, the testimony as to the site application sign location and to whether variances are going to be necessary. All in that time being, our comment number 3, the understanding off-street parking relief was granted for the existing facility, and that under the new concept, 24 off-street parking spaces are now proposed. Testimony will have to be provided to the board satisfaction as to the adequacy of the proposed parking for the proposed expanded use, and that variance for the spaces appears necessary. Relief is necessary from buffer requirements with and then finally, relief is required for parking in the easterly property line. Also, relief from section 1896E under schools is required that with respect to bus loading, unloading, testimony on that. I believe that is the relief sought, correct? Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Terry. Ms.
Good
Weinstein.
evening. Mary Weinstein, on behalf of the applicant, Safari Mediaco Inc. This application is actually an amendment to a previously approved application, as I was explaining to you before. This is an existing school, but this board previously approved an addition to the already existing school. That addition was never built. What's happened since that addition got approved is that this school is literally busting out of the seams, and therefore they're back to add another story onto the building, which is why we're here tonight for an amended application.
Which building? That's built or that's going to be built?
Well, the building is built, and then there was an approved first floor addition. The building has a basement and a first floor. It was a first floor addition that was already approved. We're now amending that addition to include a second story. Or it said it was a 3-story addition because it's really basement plus 2, just to clarify that. And by way of background of this school, this is the only girls' school in Lakewood to cater to the Sephardic community. They have both a full elementary school with parallel classes up to 3rd grade, and like I said, they are literally busting out of the seams. And then they've just started the high school, which they have 9th and 10th grade. There are about 30 girls right now in the high school. The elementary school has 6 buses in the morning and 5 buses in the afternoon. The high school right now has 1 minibus. The way they do it is that they stagger the opening times and the dismissal times so that there are never more than 3 buses at any given time. All students are bused to school. No students are permitted to drive. There are no car drop-offs other than an occasional girl who misses the bus or has an appointment. There is no simple hall. And the only relief that we're seeking is with respect to buffering and parking within the buffer area. With that said, I would ask you if you could have Glenn sworn, please.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give before this board will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I'm a professional engineer, professional planner, Lakewood.
Glenn, if you could, first of all, start, I think certainly we want to hear testimony about the parking. There definitely is an issue as to whether the parking is sufficient, and then as usual, the bus drop-offs and the like.
With regard to, just so the board's aware, really
Where's this located?
Prospect Street.
On Prospect?
There's actually
between 9 and Massachusetts, on the north side.
this school used to be, this was the Vinosta school.
Oh.
Originally, and then Vinosta was sold as just about a number of years ago.
So our original application became an existing school building, which is in front of the property, and we proposed approximately 58 by 120 foot, 25 foot addition on the back of the school. Tonight we're proposing, this was a 1-story addition with a basement, we're now proposing a 2-story addition with a basement. The existing school remains the same except for some minor interior changes. There's a classroom into an office, 1 classroom into 1 office, and makes that a hallway for access. The original application also, there was an existing house that the board had been trouble with. It was up in the front left-hand corner. There's a swimming pool. We're proposing to keep that, which restricted access to the side of the school. Since then, the school has decided to take that we'll be removing that house. We have access in off Prospect and back out. The school now had I think it's 6 parking spaces. We are
We're
proposing 25. So the parking we're providing, we have 17 new spaces on the side of the building, which is more than we need for the school. The school itself, the school building itself, in addition, the 16 spaces, we're providing 17, which gives us 1 more space for the existing school than we had before. So we're not making any deficiency. There was a deficiency in parking for the existing school.
How much?
There are only 6 parking spaces. I believe it's 8 classrooms.
There were 9. There were 9 parking spaces. That's the zoning data sheet on page.
Yes.
It's fine, doesn't matter.
Yes, no, there's 8, I'm sorry, I made this, there's 8 in front of the building, we need 16 and there's 17 on the side, so that makes 9. So, we're adding that 1 extra space, where we used to be 8 spaces, we're still 8, and we're adding 1 extra.
How much are you deficient on the code?
We're probably deficient 2, we were deficient 2 on the last application, actually, we're deficient 3 on the last. So we're actually,
Give me 25 and you think you roughly 27.
Yeah.
Okay.
How come the zoning data sheet said that you required only 25?
So we're indicating what was previously provided to the school, that was what the 8 was.
No, the zoning data sheet says what's required, and it says what's provided. Yeah, that's a big problem, because I use that sheet all the time.
Yes, it's a mistake.
Okay.
Right, so we're showing the words. Right, we're saying existing is 9, new spaces are 16, which gives us 25. The 9
But the 9, right, for the new building, we require 16. 12 for the classrooms, 3 for the office, and 1 for library. On the provided, we have 9 existing. So the 9 that are here were existing previously. That's what we had. I thought there were 8 who were not.
So
This was one space.
So the 25 that you have required based on these calculations is correct, so we're not deficient at all. 25 is required, and 25 is required.
You are deficient for the expanded use. That's the purpose. All right, is that correct?
No, we have.
Not based on the calculations you showed in the chart there.
Modules are understanding that you have an existing parking condition, and that you're not exacerbating on what you're adding in terms of new parking for the purpose of the addition.
That's what I've been trying to explain.
Okay. So just so everyone's clear,
If we did not,
there is an existing various condition that you are not exacerbating.
that's correct.
Thank you.
If we didn't build the school at all, we would still be under one. So the 9 that we had, we were still providing 9 for the existing building. We haven't gained any rooms. The building we're putting up, we need 16 spaces for, and we're providing 16 new spaces, which we were not providing with the original application.
I have a funny question. So let's say if you take the building that you have, that you want to build, how many spaces would that building require?
The new building itself, the new building.
No, the whole thing altogether.
From the whole thing together, 27. So we're just short of 2.
And on that, Mr. Ryan, to answer your question, I think that there's a mistake on that chart, where it says that the required is 25, it should say 27. That's.
Okay. And the proposed parking is within the buffer? Is it within the buffer area?
No, the buffer is, we have 21, almost 22 feet from the property line to the parking. So 24 buffers is right.
If you look at the parking space plan, that's where it seats. I believe that's what one of the words, right?
And I'm trying to answer this question.
I'm sorry.
I was going to explain. Where the parking is in the buffer is not on the side where we're improving. That's an existing parking space on the east side of the building. It's already a parking space, their parking space. We're not making any changes to that, so we're not, that was a waiver that we needed and we were granted for the original. Several months ago.
I just want to stick with the parking, if you don't mind, for a second, before I get my mind over it. So how many, there's a total of 12 classrooms in both buildings together?
No, there are 12 classrooms in the new building. There are 3 offices in the new building, and there's 1 library in the new building.
That's all new. Okay, so now.
Correct.
How many classrooms are there altogether?
Classrooms,
I mean, you have architectural.
I don't have the architectural for the old building. I'm not bringing this in. My understanding is there are 2 short, so that there is a combination in the existing school of, that means 11. We're 2 short, and we had 9 originally, we have 9 in this, the existing building now. We would have required.
And it's very hard for me, when you're doing such type of addition, it's very hard for me to figure out what you should have had, what you had. I'm trying to figure out what this building is going to look like when you're done.
Right now, the building now, there are 10 classrooms.
Okay.
But we're losing 2, they're getting converted into offices. So there are going to be 8 in the old portion, 8 classrooms in the old portion, and then how many classrooms did you say in the new portion?
In the new portion, we have 12.
So you have 12 plus 8, you're gonna have 20 classrooms. Did I answer your question?
Yes, that's 20. And then there are going to be, how many offices altogether?
3 in the addition.
2 in the old Lakewood? So maybe 5 offices? 3 plus 2?
Excuse me, Chairman. Yes. We have architectural plans in our file that deal with the addition and the alteration which are dated, November 3rd, 2017.
You show the whole building?
Are these still, no, this is showing the addition. Do you have these with you, Glenn? This is AFC plans. Right, I have 11,317, correct. Now, what they're showing there is for the addition only, is that correct?
That's the addition only. Yes.
Okay, all right, and based upon that, it would appear, they're showing 12 classrooms, 5 office, and 11 living rooms, is that correct?
No, those are not the correct plan.
So this is not. Yeah, I remember earlier in the meeting, when we were talking about what happens when architecture's plans don't catch up, this is a real time example.
That's why I said, when we go for a vote, you know who we're voting on.
So we don't have those, plans.
That's why Terry's review letter doesn't give a specific number. I know you were asking one of the other applications, Mr. Renner, if Terry in his office checked the parking calculations. They do. But if the plans provide conflicting information between what's shown in the architectural and what's shown in the site plan and the way they calculated, sometimes
So how
Terry
do we
still
make,
can't come up with numbers.
so how do we do it that they don't come to this board until it's numbers? Until it's architectural, how do we?
You tell them they need to provide testimony.
We're asking
They
for
were
testimony
ready.
as to the parking.
I just think like, before these applications come to the board, you know the questions that we ask you to provide testimony? The testimony should just be in writing with the application. This is how many students, this is how many classrooms, this is how many offices. Not that we should have to come to the meeting and count, how many offices? 3. Oh, but we say 2, and you said 4. And it should be in writing up front exactly what we're looking at.
Standard questions.
Yeah.
If you say it's testimony, you don't have in the application. Therefore, we're asking for testimony on the record, so you hear what they're proposing, and you can form your decision in part based upon what they're telling you they're proposing.
But how do we give an application not complete if we do not have a complete application?
Again, there's a difference between the interpretal was submitted and whether it's is it close and perfect, or is it something that needs work, but the applicant agrees that they'll work with the ordinance in good faith?
Also, I can just explain, these are questions that certainly I always ask, and I was unprepared with the answers. This is a more complicated one than usual because it's in addition to an already existing school. The existing portion, we're not asking for anything new in regard to the existing portion.
It's all one.
I understand, it's all one building. The only reason I don't have the answer to exactly how many classrooms is because we know exactly how many are going in the average unit, because it's
But
parking space.
the only other thing is that it's Prospect Street, which is heavily traffic area. It's a dangerous area. We have to try to get as many parking spaces off site.
Also, the plan shows a dumpster in 2 of the parking spaces that you referenced before. The plan shows a dumpster area. So there's not really 9 spaces, there's only 6 because the plan shows dumpsters.
The question about the basement, that's not good.
Well, I don't know, on the existing conditions, we just counted 1, 2, 3, 4 regular spots and 2 handicapped. Because you have.
Existing, there were 6 spaces. Those are, we now have 8 across the front and back.
Oh, so you're removing the dumpster?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the dumpsters that we put for the old house.
So we have 6 spots, but 4 plus 2 handicapped existing.
So this is, but it says existing none, so that's not right.
Right. So that, I mean, the whole.
Very, very difficult. Very difficult.
We're not looking for reasons to deny the application necessarily, but what we're saying is that the information has to be accurate up front. We need the information up front. We can't do this on the fly anymore, especially with applications like this in this area, like the chairman was saying on Prospect Street. It's got to be all up front. It's got to be in writing. There can't be discrepancies between the detail, between the chart and then the report and then one architectural drawing and another architectural drawing. It's got to all line up.
That's the engineer.
I mean, then one other thing, so we have a problem with the parking, which I don't know how many parking spots they're going to be. The other issue is that I have, you say that nobody's gonna drive to school, everybody's gonna come with buses. There are many days, we had some days already this year, that there are snow days, and everybody gets driven. You have a few hundred students.
Those are not regular days.
No, they're not regular days. There's a few hundred students that get driven to school. This is Prospect Street. You know what Prospect Street looks like right now. How are these cars going in, how are they dropping the kids off?
They're smart girls' school, they won't have school when there's no busing. Most girls' schools, they don't have school often when there's no busing.
So in 4 words, there is no fun.
The boys' schools do, the girls' schools do. No, I mean, the rabbis can tell you, but most, I think you'll notice.
It's going from a small building to a huge building.
You will note that in the last snowstorm, none of the girls' schools opened when there was no busing.
Could you show us,
I don't know, I go to work.
but could you show us where the buses are gonna go?
Yeah, Glenn,
Glenn,
could you,
Glenn, can you show us the buses, where they would pull up, where they're parked?
As Miriam had indicated, we have space for 3 buses across the front of the building.
It's a turnaround?
And it turns around, yes. We got our approval from the county. We originally had the driveways all set. They wanted the exit driveway to line up with Murray Street, so we have their requirements. So the buses are then on the east street driveway, so on the traffic pattern, and then exit on West Street.
How many buses could fit into that driveway?
3.
Okay. How many cars do you think could fit in? You're probably gonna do it like this, no doubt.
A bus is about twice as long as a car, so you have 3 buses and probably 7 cars.
What's the maximum of the buses you have to the school? At any given time, 3.
I'm very concerned about parking on Prospect Street. I mean, there's gonna be people that's not getting enough parking on site, people that are parking on Prospect. And I'm also concerned about cars coming to drop off and pick up. And I know it's not gonna happen every day, but when they do, there's not gonna be sufficient, room for that.
Can we park on Prospect?
Yeah, but you're making it a bigger school.
On Prospect?
Here's right now, there are 9 parking spaces in this existing school, that's the exact same location.
Yeah.
There must be overflow parking, and they're parking somewhere without a problem.
Prospect, you can't park on the street,
They're not
okay?
parking on Prospect, really not. But they
No
must be parking
shoulders.
somewhere, because I can't imagine that 9 parking spaces is not what's there presently.
But that's not a good argument why you should get something approved, because they must be doing something better.
No, but I'm just saying that there is parking available on the side.
One at a time, please.
Can I give you a little challenge at the end?
Jackie's pretty good at this, actually. Gonna miss her.
Jackie's with a lot.
Gonna miss her.
Yeah, we are.
Saying that you don't need any parking.
I didn't say that.
Because it works now.
I didn't say we don't need any parking. I was actually gonna say that I can certainly, have the driveway parking, but I didn't tell you what's gonna happen on these snow days or the legal holidays when there aren't busing. Yes, there will always be a couple of legal holidays when there aren't busing, and I imagine there will be some on those days. Those days doesn't tend to be as much traffic on Rockford Street. There are probably 2 days a year that will affect us, and then on the snow days, I think I've spoken to the rabbi, he can tell you himself that he doesn't intend to have school if there is no busing, because it's gonna be difficult. But this is the size property that he has, and he doesn't have the ability to make it any larger, unfortunately.
Well, he's trying to make it larger.
He doesn't have the ability to make the property larger. Yes, he wants to make the building larger because he needs to accommodate a growing number of students, while a lot of nobody goes to school.
The number of classrooms, are they on the first and second floor, is that including the basement or not?
The basement is a gym. There's a beautiful state-of-the-art gym in the basement.
So just the first and
And I
second
think
floor?
it's already there, you can come take a look.
And it's not open for the public.
I'm sure if you want to use it, Mr. Chairman, they will let you.
And there's no parking for it.
Then you feel better.
Any other questions for the board?
If you walk to the gym, you'll get a better workout. Mrs. Weinstein, I just have a couple questions, just to make sure the record's complete. And I apologize, I'm sleep deprived, so you may, I'm 1 month old, so you may have,
Congratulations,
yeah.
by the way.
So you may have already talked about this. Was there testimony about the children walking across the parking lot for the busing?
We have to get to that.
Okay.
Address that, the children walking across the parking lot and the waiver that we need for that.
Before that,
The buses unloading in front of the school, there is a requirement that they would have to go around the cars that are parked in front of the school to the sidewalk to get into the existing school, and then they have to walk through the parking lot to get to the front door, which is basically the rear of the site, to the high school. Again, once the buses are there, access by teachers, staff is not possible. So there really isn't that conflict between cars coming and going and the students, they're having a problem with park afterwards.
the staff has to come early or late.
Well, it's just, so once all the buses unload, the students go in, when the buses pull out, then the teachers are coming.
We're trying to put a lot on a small piece of property.
We understand, and we agree. And the original application, which was a single-story building, had a much higher parking deficiency. Because there was a house here, there was a swimming pool. I think we had about 5 spaces behind the swimming pool. So that would have given us a total of 14 where.
Yeah, but when this was originally built, Prospect was not a disaster.
He's talking about when you get the addition.
The approval we already had.
It's about a year ago.
About a year ago.
And Glenn, by adding a second floor, you're going from 300 students to 600 students? You're going to...
No. It's,
20 questions.
no,
It's 400 students.
20 questions, so you're not going to.
20, 40, 400, 500. It's a big school.
So the second floor has 6 classrooms and a library on the third floor, or the second floor, second. So if there are 30 students per class, it's 180 students. It's not
180 students for what?
For what we're asking for, the addition of the second story. We already have, you already have approval.
I understand. With the variances. On the room.
With much worse parking variance than we have.
I understand. Adding 200 students to the school, you have a lot more parents, a lot more cars coming, a lot more buses coming.
It'd be terrible.
Anyway, first, you give the kids back, why don't you take and move the dumpster back 2 foot closer to the road? Put a piece of sidewalk going in and going all the way to the back of that parking lot right into the other.
Excellent idea. Right, because that way the students could walk right over that sidewalk, up that side along the west side of the property. If we have the parking lot,
Right.
there would only be, excellent suggestion.
You lose any parking.
That's why we can't let you retire. Because he told you that's one thing not coming back. We need you.
And we try to keep as much of the site improvements away from the western property line as possible. But it's just a sidewalk, I think that's.
No, it's an excellent suggestion.
So, I'm just gonna go back to my question before. In its entirety, how many classrooms is there? What's the parking efficiency? I didn't know.
20 classrooms. What's the parking efficiency again?
There's 20 classrooms in the new area?
No, 20 total. 80 of the old, 80 of the old, 12 in the new.
Okay. A total amount of office space, of offices?
You said 5 before.
Yeah, it is.
That's the requirement is required for the other.
So it's 5.
7.
Okay. 27.
And then there's 1 library in the entire school.
Correct, that's 28.
What about tutor rooms and all the other rooms that's applying in the UDO?
There are no tutor rooms anymore. It's just the 2 offices.
So what we have on the architectural plans is not accurate.
Correct.
Okay. You understand?
I understand. I understand, and I'm not gonna repeat what I said, Glenn. Try to bring a complete, application, so we should know what we're voting on. I'm not saying it has to do with you.
I'm hearing for the first time that the architectural plan is not accurate.
Okay.
There's been 25 rooms.
So we see this a lot, don't you know?
See it all the time.
So it's not it. Okay, so basically, in a nutshell, you're deficient too. You need 27 and for 28, and you have 25?
We're three short.
It's 3 short. So you ask for variance on 3.
Is there any way you can get another 3?
That just doesn't happen.
So the variance is for 28 versus 25, and if this is approved and we get a financial compliance to show 33, it's coming back. See how it works? That's what I was trying to explain.
No, I mean, sure.
They're trying to figure out how to get it.
Go to New York, double decker.
Do you want to just come back on the 23rd?
Well, then Mr. Franklin.
Could you split your building, move the 2 campers back, and add the extra other places in here? They can split your building in line with this. You know, or just move this 2 back. What would that do to your floor? This way you get another half a dozen pieces in there. Oh, this is all your playground?
Yeah.
Okay, but you want to come back on the 23rd?
And also,
I'm not doing this on the fly. I'm not doing this.
Such a big
no,
school.
I want to ask that justice.
But we approved the too much. Crazy.
The younger bridge will start, the older bridge will start earlier, and the younger bridge will start a little later. The dismissals are always staggered. This way, obviously, the high school's never on the same schedule as the elementary. They don't have a choice because this is the property that we're stuck working with. So they'll have, let's say, primary, first and second, will start at one time, and then you have third, fourth, and fifth, and then sixth, seventh, and eighth, and then the high school. And this way, you never run more than 3 buses.
Maybe the answer is that this is not the property for the extension. That's not the
Yes, you have to be affirmed.
When you have the right way from.
Please raise your right hand.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give before this board will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Affirm.
Okay, and please state your name for the record.
Moshe Sema, S-E-M-A-H.
Please speak into the mic.
S-E-M-A-H.
Okay, thank you. Please proceed.
The issue with the busing in the morning, unfortunately, the buses not and will not ever come on time at the same time. It's 1 bus at a time, drop it off and pulling out. It doesn't matter. What Mr. Ren is very worried about with snow days. Right now we have parents pulling in about 2 rows, actually 3 rows even, going around, and we have them all pulling out at one time. It works out very well. We're going to have now that the county made us switch over everything, the street can be open to Woman Street, or street can be open to
Williams.
not Williams, not Murray Street, because when you get to a street, it'll be much easier for the parents to pull out. Won't make it right, it'll be much easier for them to take care of the issue, big part of the issue. We're extending this whole area here, we have more room for the parents to pull in. Those mothers, half the size on that. We'll fill here, extending the piece here, another house. 247, the parents have much more room, we have much more access to the parents going. I don't think what we need.
You have the cars and buses coming at the same time?
We don't have cars. We're talking about if there's no.
If there's a snow day.
There's snow days, there's Thanksgiving.
If you even worry about snow days for busing, there is no busing, snow days.
And when does the staff come? Do they come before the buses, after the buses? So it doesn't work.
I wish they come before the buses.
They can't come at the same time, it's the bottleneck over there.
The buses take about maybe 2 minutes to 3 minutes per bus. They come, they drop, they run their curves over, they pull out. We've never had a time where there's more than one or maybe 2 buses that pull at the same time. It never happens. Especially the girls' schools are the last tier of busing. That means anything from the morning, from the shoppers run, straight through to the girls' run. There shouldn't be delays somewhere along one of the bus routes. They never pull at the same time.
Is it possible to make it further formal and have less officers at the speaker phone?
Yes, we can do that. We can eliminate the officer. We eliminate an office, and we respectfully request a variance for 1 parking space. We be short 1.
So how many rooms total are you?
How many rooms total? 6 officers, right? We had 7.
So you're reducing the square footage, or you're just eliminating the office?
No, we're eliminating take a lot. I'm sorry, so we're taking 2 offices. We'll go down in calculations that are on the chart, we'll go down from 3 offices to 1 office in the new park. So 2 offices in the old and the new park.
So based on what you represent for UDO requirements, you will have a proposed demand of 26 spaces, where the UDO would require 25, and you're seeking a variance of 1 space. So is that correct?
Backwards. You said it backwards. You said that we have 26 and the UDO requires 25.
I'm sorry. You're right.
UDO requires 26.
So the relief based upon the number of rooms and the UDO requirements is 1 space.
Yes.
Okay. So if we get compliance plans that show 2, 3, 5, 10 space relief, it's coming back here.
Yes. We got it.
Thank you.
Is there anything else in the report? Do you agree with everything?
Everything else we can do. Yes. And Mr. Franklin's suggestion, yes, we will definitely comply with Mr. Franklin's suggestion in front of that one.
So what happens when you take one of your office? What happens? Your classroom gets bigger?
The UDO definition requirements of project for schools is, it doesn't talk about the size of the rooms, it talks about the number of rooms. And when you hear an application based upon UDO standards, that's what it's based on.
And what happens when there's a room labeled other, like you were saying before? What happens to that?
We typically want information as to what is it contributing to the parking lot. And again, we don't have all the answers going into the hearing, we want testimony on the record for our benefit and for your benefit, because you're the one voting. But we would hear testimony about parking as it relates to schools. UDO definition is per room.
Technically, you have a room, 10,000 square feet, you only have one classroom, you only have 1 parking space. Any other questions by any board members?
I just have a comment. My comment is that I'm very not comfortable giving any variance on Pleasant Street.
I would open up to the public. Anybody from the public like to be heard on this application? Responsible granting that? I would ask for a motion on this application.
I'll make a motion to approve the application.
Based on
The testimony and
downsizing the classrooms. There's only short 1 parking space.
Office.
Office.
Office, I'm sorry. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, do we have a second?
And then John's recommendation with the sidewalk on the side. Okay, or I'll second.
Okay, roll call.
I second.
Mr. Leonard.
Mr. Flansman.
Mr. Flansman, sorry. Mixed us up.
Because we've been agreeing all night, so it's fine. We're like one person now.
Mr. Remmer. Mr. Franklin.
Yes.
Mr. Sable.
Yes.
Mr. Flansbrough.
Yes.
Mr. Herzl.
Yes.
Mr. Renner. Mrs. Roberts. Yes.
While we do have the final county approval.
They have the final one?
Approval of minutes. Approval of minutes. All approve, aye. Approval of bills, all approve, aye.
What's your name? Okay, I say B-E-1, right? Yeah, okay, got it. Okay. Welcome.